Tonight from inside the Farrell Center on the campus of Baylor University in Waco, Texas, it's the 12th-ranked Baylor Bears and the Tarleton Texans. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Farrell Center, the Paul J. Meyer Arena. John Morris alongside former Baylor standout Pat Nunley. Pat, we've got a dandy matchup here in early December. Baylor and Tarleton. How about Keyonte George off to a great start to his freshman season, and Freddie Hicks for Tarleton, their leading scorer and rebounder.
It's kind of hard to imagine that Keyonte George has been better than advertised, but he has. We knew he could score, John, 15 points a game, but he's rebounded the ball well, over 4 rebounds a game, and he's second on the team in assists. And then Freddie Hicks, you can see 20 points a game, a little over 7 rebounds a game, a surprising statistic for him, over 3 assists a ball game. He had 28 free throws in a game earlier this season. Wow. Really productive.
Tarleton is 5-3 coming in. Baylor is 6-2. Bears coming off that big win over Gonzaga in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Last time out, that was on Friday evening. But back home and not at full strength tonight, Pat. Really neither team at full strength.
Yeah, Adam Flagler is out. He was fighting off a bit of a flu bug against Gonzaga. Still made 2 threes in the last minute and a half of that game to win it. And then L.J. Cryer out with a sore back. Don't know the extent of that. But, John, that's a lot of scoring for Baylor that's not in the lineup tonight.
Ball is in the air, tip control by Baylor, and this game is underway in the Farrell Center. A familiar face on that Tarleton bench. We'll show you that in just a moment. Entry pass to Flo Thamba, ball knocked away, stolen by Tarleton, and on the run out, they are quickly their half of the floor.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot many threes. They look to just grind on the offensive end, a lot of screens away. These guys are all 6'5", 6'6", a couple of 6'7", and they go hard to the glass.
Very athletic team. There's Hicks, floater, shot, no good. Offensive rebound and putback is in by Lou Williams.
Again, just very athletic. They all really have a nose for the basketball, and they go hard to the offensive glass. They're not looking to shoot it very quickly, and they want 2s, not 3s.
There's Bridges for 3. Speaking of, shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Shamir Bogues out of Killeen. In a hurry up the floor. One of our officials will stop play. It's a Tarleton player that is down on the floor. That is Lou Williams.
But John, it's ironic. Jalen Bridges, what he really does well coming in from West Virginia, the transfer, is shoot threes. That's the one thing he hasn't done well this season, shooting just 25% from the three-point line. Actually make that 18.5%, and he needs to get a 3 down. That first one was way off.
Here's Williams. Let's see how that happened. Watch the bottom right of the screen. Going in, he bumps into Keyonte George, or Keyonte bumps into him. Almost looked like maybe they hit hips there or something. There's the head coach for the Texans. That is a familiar face. That is Billy Clyde Gillespie, one-time Baylor assistant coach, his 3rd year at Tarleton. Former head coach at UTEP, A&M, Kentucky, and Texas Tech. Very familiar face. Great to see Billy Clyde back in the Farrell Center.
It is. He spent a couple of years here under Harry Miller. And, John, he has gone on since that time to be a 12-time Coach of the Year. He was the Big 12 Coach of the Year 2 out of 3 years, the WAC Coach of the Year, Co-SEC Coach of the Year. This guy's big time.
Here's a steal by Bonner on the perimeter, doing what he does so well, and he's fouled on the breakaway. Bonner will go to the free throw line for 2. Speaking of that Gonzaga game on Friday, Dale Bonner didn't score a point in that game, but Baylor probably doesn't beat Gonzaga without him.
Had 3 assists, and then, John, we saw that last substitution of the game. Baylor went to the defensive end, put Dale Bonner in the ball game for defensive purposes only, a team leader in steals, and he got one to get the ball back for the Bears, or more importantly, to keep Gonzaga from scoring. And you see him get his first free throw down. John, that's an area of improvement for him. He's really become an offensive threat. Like you said, didn't score against Gonzaga, but really didn't need to. He'll have to do a little more of that tonight with Flagler and Cryer both out.
76.5% free throw shooter on the year. Hits both of them there. Baylor at 71% on the year. 2 free throws ties the game at 2-2. Now some backcourt pressure by the Bears defensively. Inbounds, it comes to Hicks. Very athletic team, as we mentioned, for Tarleton. Probably any of those guys could bring it up against pressure.
Yeah, again, they all kind of look the same, 6'6", 6'7". They got Hopkins on the floor. He's a true point guard. But they're sort of interchangeable. They play positionless, really, in the half court for sure.
Shakur Daniel feeds Shamir Bogues. Driving layup is no good with the left hand, but a foul on Keyonte George. Of course, Baylor head coach Scott Drew in his 20th season here at Baylor. Passed the 400 win mark in Baylor victories earlier this season. 3 times, in fact, the last 3 years, the Big 12 Conference Coach of the Year. As Baylor off to a 6-2 start to the season. Drive, ball knocked away out of the hands of Javonte Hopkins. There's the other way, Langston Love with the bucket and a foul. Let's see if they call it before the shot.
You know, I bet Love is chomping at the bit to play as much as he's going to play tonight. Tore his ACL a year ago, still not completely 100%, but he took a pretty good step. You can see how strong he is. One big, strong dribble, and all the way to the bucket. He's 6'5", 210. He knows how to use his body.
Not a bucket. Inbounds for the Bears. Shot no good. Rebound by Freddie Hicks. Bogues up the floor in a 2-2 game. We're 2 minutes in first half. 9th meeting all time between these two. Tarleton won the first 2 matchups. Baylor has won 6 straight. Remember, it's not in that total, but don't you remember an exhibition game between these two? The Baylor lost to Tarleton.
Oh, yeah.
And really, really led to a come-to-Jesus meeting with Baylor that season.
You know, remember it well. And I'm telling you, when you play Billy Gillespie, you've got to win the game. They're not going to beat themselves. And you saw a rare 3, really. Last shot for Tarleton. This team shoots just 19.3% of its shots from beyond the 3-point line. That's just really not part of their offense.
Tied for the second fewest of any school in the nation. Shot blocked by Bridges. Clean block out of bounds. Big time defensive play there. So Tarleton will inbound again, now with 11 on the shot clock.
And you could tell after the Gonzaga game, Baylor, you talk about getting reset, really revitalized. They did that on the defensive end, and they needed that. That Marquette loss taught them a few things, and then they snapped back defensively, primarily against Gonzaga.
Floater on the baseline, but a charge is called. Jalen Bridges draws the charge on Shamir Bogues.
Really good defense. Baylor pushes everything to the baseline. They don't want a ball handler to be able to see the floor by getting it into the middle of the lane. Bridges with a nice job coming over weak side help. The defender pushed it there, and he was there to provide weak side help and take the charge.
So the Bears have the ball, still 2-2, 2.5 minutes in. Keyonte George up with an 18-footer, rims out. Bridges flies in for the rebound. Attacks the rim, shot no good. Rebounded by Baylor, they keep it there, and Bridges working hard till he gets the bucket.
Yeah, it's 2 offensive rebounds and 1 trip up the floor for Bridges, and he finishes with Baylor's first second chance point of the game.
4-2, Bears lead. Shakur Daniel brings it up. Gets the feed back on the left wing. Hopkins gives the ball away to Bogues. Now to Hicks. 10 on the shot clock. Again, Tarleton not looking for a 3-point shot. Very rarely do they put it up. Here's Bridges fighting for the rebound. Falls down, and as the shot clock expired, Scott Drew extends his right fist in the air. That is a great defensive stand. It
really is, and it's team defense, John. They worked a lot on getting the defense a little more compact. They felt like they were leaving some of their perimeter defenders out on an island far away from the basket, and they've really tightened it up, and they're playing team defense. You saw a charge taken by Bridges earlier. Defensively, they took a real step after that Marquette loss.
That was 1 week ago tonight. Baylor lost in Marquette in Milwaukee, 96-70. I mean, the Golden Eagles really handed it to Baylor. Baylor coaches just went back to work, came up with a game plan that led to a win over Gonzaga 4 days later. Jordan Turner on the floor, first time this season. Bonner rat-a-tats it in from the free throw line.
Coaches talk a lot about paint touches. The ball needs to touch the paint primarily off the dribble, and Bonner is as good as it gets at that.
That is, could have been a charge. It's a blocking foul on Dale Bonner. Freddie Hicks drives in. Looked like Bonner was set, but a blocking foul called on him.
Yeah, he may have been inside the semicircle. We'll see if we get a replay of it. But the thinking was right. May have been there just a half step slow or inside that circle. But that's going to give. So there comes the help from Bonner. Yeah, he's got that left foot on that line.
Just on the line, right?
Yeah, doesn't matter whether he's set or not. If his foot's inside the circle or on it, going to shoot free throws. And this is a team, Tarleton, that really knows how to get to the free throw line. They average 28.2 free throws per game, and that's tied for second in all of NCAA Division I basketball.
Isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
Tied with UTEP for the second most. Only Denver has more free throw attempts per game. 1 of 2 at the line. Makes it 6-3. Bears on top, nearing the 16-minute mark here in the first half. Bonner gets the feed, lost it. Turnover Bears. 2-on-1 break. And Bridges follows with another block. Rebound finally controlled there by Tarleton. Shot up and in, and a foul. Boy, the Bears are working hard defensively. Jalen Bridges leading the way. That'll be a foul and free throws for Tarleton after a break. 4 minutes in, Bears by 1. 6-5 early on, Baylor leading Tarleton. A look inside that Baylor bench area. And Pat, some significant players not available. Standing up in the black there, that's Jonathan Chumwa-Chachua as he continues to rehab from that horrific knee injury a year ago. But just tonight, Adam Flagler is out. L.J. Cryer is out. Baylor's top 2 scorers not available for this game this evening.
Yeah, John, that's over 32 points a game out of the lineup tonight. And I think what Flagler does, we've talked a lot about Baylor's guards and what a great group that is. But in my mind, Flagler is the alpha dog. I mean, Flagler is the guy, and Gonzaga, I think, is proof positive of that. Down the stretch, Baylor down 7, a minute and a half to play. Flagler gets the ball, and he makes 2 threes. I mean, ice water kind of threes to go on and win that game. And his numbers have just been incredible. He's a 92% free throw shooter, 52% from the three-point line, has almost a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, leads the team in assists 49, and then L.J. Cryer has the ability to break a game wide open with threes. So Bears going to have to compensate for that, and it's a tough game to try to do that in. The team Tarleton that can really defend.
Williams misses on the free throw. Flo Thamba the rebound. Bears bring it up. Oh, nice pass off the hands of George. A turnover by the Bears.
Yeah, you got to make Tarleton pay for that pressure, and a great pass from Bonner as George went back door. He just couldn't handle the pass.
Hicks dribbles on the perimeter, gives to Tiger Booker. Booker, no name on the back of his jersey. Gets it in the left corner, head fake. Caleb Lohner got him in the air and then shot inside the three-point line.
Yeah, and Lohner really didn't need to leave his feet. You don't have to worry about a block there. Bogues is not a great three-point shooter, but once he left his feet, took the head and shoulder fake, he is out of the play.
Lohner gives the ball to Langston Love on the perimeter. Love, his first career start here at Baylor. Runner, right side, left it just short. Rebound Shakur Daniel, grad student out of Toronto, Canada. Here's digging in defensively. Trailing in this game 7-6, 5.5 minutes in. Head fake and a travel with the fake. Freddie Hicks, the turnover.
Yeah, and get a good look there at Keyonte George defensively. On-ball defense where he just took away space from the guy he was guarding, and the guy couldn't do anything with it. And then Daniel pulled Thamba out away from the basket, out of Thamba's comfort zone defensively, and still couldn't turn the corner on him. Baylor defense has been pretty good.
Thamba to the bench. Josh Ojanwuna is on for the Bears, a freshman from Nigeria by way of the NBA Global Academy. Ojanwuna puts the ball on the floor and he loses it. Another turnover.
Yeah, that's 3 turnovers, and this team, Tarleton, forces a lot of turnovers. They reach, they grab, they foul a lot. Now here's a steal by Bonner.
Bears get it back. Bonner the steal. Ahead to George. Layup, no. Blocked off the glass. Love picks up the loose ball, puts it up, no. But Ojanwuna is there for the follow.
Yeah, second chance point for the Bears in this game. They've been really good on the offensive glass. Bridges with one, and Ojanwuna with that one.
So the Bears regain the lead, 8-7 over Tarleton. On the hands of Keandre Gaddy on the perimeter, junior from Dallas. Oops, a pass in the corner to Freddie Hicks. Back outside it comes with 7 to shoot. Drive down the layup by Hopkins, and a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against the Bears. Now is on Caleb Lohner.
Get a pretty good look, John, at Tarleton's approach. It's really give these guards, really each of the 5 guys on the floor, mentioned a minute ago, it's fairly much positionless basketball, and they just go. They take ball screens, they go hard on the dribble drive, try to get to the free throw line. Sometimes free throws are their best offense. We talked again about how often they get there, and they're a pretty good free throw shooting team.
Keyonte George to the bench as Jalen Bridges is back on. Really energetic start to the game by Bridges. Hopkins shooting free throws, and he hits them both, and this lead seesaws back the way of the Texans 9-8.
Yeah, and I think this is a pace that Tarleton really wanted to create. Baylor's not able to get the ball in transition, and a lot of pressure, and the pressure has bothered Baylor offensively in the first 6.5 minutes of this game.
Drive by Bonner, nice drive, tip no good. Love, follow up for the Bears.
That's one thing he can do with that 6'5", 210-pound frame is get to the glass. Baylor plays a lot of guards, and what you gain in guard play, you lose typically on the glass. That's not the case with Langston Love.
10-9, Bears lead it, 7 minutes in, first half. Shakur Daniel on the right wing, under 10 to shoot. Step back, 16-footer is good by Daniel.
You know, and he did the same thing to Ojenwuna. He tried to do to Thamba, and that's pull him out. Ojenwuna, 6'10", 230 pounds. He's not real comfortable 18 feet from the basket, playing defense on the perimeter, and that was a mismatch that favored Tarleton.
Bonner asked to play the point tonight. Normally, Adam Flagler has that role. Here's Love driving in. Stepped on the out-of-bounds line, turnover Bears. Here's that jumper.
Yep, and that's Daniel again just going to work on Ojenwuna. He's a really good defender, but he's really more of a rim protector than he is a guy that can apply ball pressure on the perimeter. Daniel just took it to him.
11-10, Tarleton leads the Bears with the basketball. Hicks into the paint, gives it back outside to Daniel, left wing. Caleb Lohner slapping at the ball, trying to free it away. Here's Hicks. Lost the handle, turnover, Tarleton. Bears take it away.
Yeah, great defense from the weak side from Ojenwuna.
Love to Bridges. Bridges on the baseline, back outside to Love. Left elbow jumper, no good. Rebound Bears offensively, and a putback by Jalen Bridges.
And Bridges hasn't been able to shoot the ball down. We talked about his inability to make threes so far this season, but he's been able to get to the offensive glass and get second chance points. Good example here, ball's up for grabs, and he just finishes in traffic.
12-11, Baylor leads over Tarleton, 11:51 on the clock, first half. As we said, 9th meeting all time between these two. Baylor lost the first 2 games in the series and has won 6 straight. It's the first meeting, Pat, since 1986. Doesn't seem like it's been that long, but I guess it has. And Tarleton making the move up. They're in the 3rd year of a 4-year transition phase to become a Division I school.
Yeah, and John, Tarleton's one of those teams that the high-level Division I teams don't necessarily want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not, you know, a game that is really just an opportunity for them to get a piece of the game. This is a serious basketball team, and really they've got to like where they are, down by just 1, 11:51 to go in the first half. Bridges back at the line where he has been great on the offensive glass. Baylor has 6 of its 12 points in the game off of second chance points.
This is on the free throw. Bridges has been the best free throw shooter for Baylor this year at 83%. So it remains 12-11. Bears on top. Ojenwuna back out there. All in the hands of Daniel. Daniel, step back, shot no good. Bridges, a monster on the glass to start the game tonight.
Yeah, Bears really trying to spread the floor and get something in transition. There it is.
Wow, beautiful play. Keyonte George with the alley-oop. to Josh Ojanwuna.
Yeah, second on the team in assists, John. We knew coming in he was a prolific scorer, but he will share the ball, and he creates opportunities like that one for his teammates.
Keyonte George with a fantastic assist puts the Bears up 14-11. Here's Hopkins, the drive, shot no good, tip no good, ball lost out of bounds. Here's another look at that beautiful play at the other end, Pat.
Yeah, and George is just, again, trying to push things and make this more of a 94-foot kind of game. And you can see how he works. He draws two, draws a defender away from Ojanwuna, and just puts it in the same area code. He does that, and we're going to get an alley-oop out of it.
They are adjusting the clock here and making sure it is Tarleton's ball. Tarleton has not scored the last 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Dale Bonner is back on the floor. Bridges has to go out. He goes down to the end of the bench there. Inbounds it comes, and a nice, easy flip in the bucket by Freddie Hicks.
Yeah, nobody there to make it difficult on Hicks, and he had a wide open lane to the bucket.
1 point game again. Baylor by 1 over Tarleton, 14-13. George jumper left corner is no good. Loose ball.
That's a good
by Tarleton.
Yeah, good three off the dribble drive by Langston Love. That's a paint touch and a kick out three. Ball didn't go down, but that's a pretty good recipe. That's what they're looking for.
Here's Booker, gives the ball away to Daniel. Backpedals between the rings, 10 to shoot. It's the play in motion to Booker. A three, it's no good. Rebound Ojanwuna. Langston Love brings it up. Lost his balance a little bit, shot up no good. Lohner the rebound and the putback.
And there's another second chance points for the Bears. In fact, that may be their best offense in this game. That is 10 points now, 10 of Baylor's 16 off of offensive rebounds and putbacks.
And a 16-13 lead for the Bears. Under 10 minutes to play, first half. Hopkins on the perimeter, gives the ball to Booker. Tiger Booker, a 5'10 junior from Chicago, Illinois. Booker to Hicks, launching a three, and it's good. Pat, let me ask you this. For a team that doesn't shoot a lot of threes like Tarleton, if you play a team like Baylor that does shoot a lot of threes, do you kind of get in that rhythm sometimes and maybe shoot more than you normally would?
Yeah, I mean, think of the Marquette game.
Yeah.
That was a team that had not shot the ball well from the three-point line, but made a few. And, you make a few, you get confident. And then if you don't feel any pressure from the defense, you feel even more confident. So that might be the case. I mean, Tarleton is not a skilled three-point shooting team, but if they can get a little bit of momentum and get a few down, it might change things.
That last three by Hicks ties the game at 16 apiece. Under 9 minutes on the clock, first half. Ojanwuna to the bench, Flo Thamba back on. Making his 72nd consecutive start in a Baylor uniform tonight. Drive, ball off a foot. It is off of Baylor's foot. Dale Bonner begs to disagree. But it looks like it will stay with the Texans.
Yeah, and again, we're just 11 and a half minutes in, but you can already see the absence of Flagler and Cryer. Bears just don't have the offensive pop that they normally have. And with that, they usually have the ability to separate. You know, an 8-0 run, 10-0 run. Just haven't seen that ability in this game so far. And again, playing, I think, at a pace that Tarleton is really comfortable with.
Inbounds to Hicks. He travels with it. Turnover number 6 in the first half by Tarleton. Baylor has 5. Thamba way away from the bucket. Puts the ball on the floor. A couple of dribbles. To get it back in the hands of Keyonte George. Instead throws it to Nancy Garland in the front row, and she is not eligible tonight.
She is not, but she did make a nice catch.
She did.
One arm, left-handed, brought it in, was strong with the ball. Speaking of strong with the ball, I mean, that you can see the Tarleton pressure. I mean, they are reaching and grabbing. You have to be strong with it. And, just every single pass is contested. And we're tied at 16 because defensively they have, I think, made a really strong first impression.
And very much at Tarleton's pace here in the first half. Hicks launches one deep. It's an air ball. Keyonte George takes it out of the air. Up the floor to Bridges. Bears run to Lohner. Lohner the extra pass to Thamba. Shot no good. And the rebound pulled down by Keyonte George. In a hurry, Tarleton right back. The floater in the paint is good by Tiger Booker.
Yeah, they're very selective about pushing the ball up the floor, but when they have numbers as they did that time, they'll go hard and they'll finish over length, and they've got a 2-point lead.
18-16, Tarleton on top. Here's Bonner, step back three. Oh, he banked it in. It counts.
It counts.
Put it in the scorebook. Three-pointer by Bonner.
Not be an asterisk around that one.
We've had 9 lead changes in the first half. The Bears lead it by 1. Tarleton, the fast break, their most recent bucket. Baylor leads Tarleton by 1, 19-18. We talked about the last 2 games for the Bears, both on the road last week. Pat, quite different performances by the Bears.
No question. And when you're winning, John, coaches see flaws that the players don't see. When you get beat by 26, everybody sees them. And when everybody sees them, then everybody gets bought in. Players get bought in to understanding. You just got to make some changes. And I think the big change was understanding defensively what it takes to win at this level, the level that Baylor's been accustomed to winning at for all these years. So I think that really says it all. And against Gonzaga, when you hold the best offensive team in the country in terms of offensive efficiency to 63, that's a pretty good step defensively.
Huge. 64-63, Baylor win on Friday over the Zags. That was at the Pentagon, the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Back home in the friendly confines of the Farrell Center, but in a tussle with Tarleton. Texans ball. There's a steal on the backside by Langston Love.
You know, he just looks so much more active and free with that brace off of. He's got a soft brace on his knee, but he took that 3-pound thing that he was lugging around in the first, 6 games of the season.
Strong drive to the bucket. Strong hard fall to the floor. Langston Love is fouled. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, watch how he uses his body right between that trap. And we talked about how Tarleton reaches and grabs, and you have got to be really strong with the ball. If you're going to lose the ball, it needs to be as the result of a foul, and that's what happened with Langston Love, who somehow gets a shooter's roll and rolls it in. He's a pretty good free throw shooter. That makes him 9 of 12 from the line this season. Had 10 points in just 14 minutes against Gonzaga this past weekend.
Really effective. May have coincided with taking that leg brace off.
I think it
That
did.
knee brace.
Did. I mean, think about how restricting it is to be lugging that thing around. It's a couple free throws down, and Langston Love, I think, is about to turn a corner. I really do. He's about to get well. Not 100% yet, but he's going to get lots of minutes tonight. So far, he's been good.
There's my 3, 6:45 on the clock, first half in the Farrell Center. Last game for Baylor before a break for finals. There's a 3 up and in by Tiger Booker.
Yeah, and that's 2 for 5 now from the three-point line. This is a team that gets only 19% of its scoring from the three-point line. They're hanging in here with it tonight.
Bonner drives, kicks in the corner to Love, into the paint, shot up and in, and a foul.
John, that's it. That's that big body, unafraid to go right into the thick middle of all the contact and use his body to draw contact and finish. Couple of big dribbles, turns down the 3, 1, 2, 3 dribbles, head and shoulder fake, over length, and he gets fouled in the process. That is vintage Langston Love.
You know what I like? That last time down, he took a really hard fall, kind of an awkward fall, but he got right back up, it's fine, and comes right back and drives into the fray again.
Yeah, he loves full contact. He's got the body that can withstand it. Bears with some pressure now. A little bit of momentum. Haven't seen much of it, but they're up 3.
Booker quickly drives down the floor. Shot no good. Thamba back defensively. Has the rebound, and he's fouled. So Booker in a hurry. A one-man fast break. Gummed up by Flo Thamba, and he's fouled on the rebound attempt.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum. We talked about how the Bears' ability to separate just really not there. And look at Thamba, avoids committing the foul. This guy is 6'10", has a 7'6" wingspan, and that's all the defense you really need against a guy like Bogues.
DeAndre Gaddy guilty of the foul. Thamba misses the free throw, won't get the bonus. Bears by 3 at the 6-minute mark here in the first half. Daniel backpedals near the midcourt stripe. To Booker and around the perimeter. Now 10 to shoot. Booker with Keyonte George on him. 4 seconds to shoot. Ball knocked away. Picked up by George. Bears on the break. The alley-oop and knocked out of bounds by Tarleton. That was Jalen Bridges trying to alley-oop to Keyonte George. Jerry Pollard down there. Ooh, I think we got a double technical coming, says Jerry Pollard.
You know, there was a lot happening in that attempted alley-oop. And I think Bridges would like to have that pass back. I think they had a 2-on-1. The defense was coming, but they had a 2-on-1. And I think a quick pass from Bridges right back would have served him well. There's the 2-on-1. Quick pass there as opposed to an alley-oop, which takes a little longer to get there and allows the defense to retreat.
And a little bit of jawing after the play. And a technical, it looks like, on Keyonte George, but we're told a double technical. See if we get it straight. Great crew here tonight. Very veteran crew. Jerry Pollard, Darren George, Chris Pacey, our 3 officials.
Well, there's a bit of a run here. We talked about the inability to separate without the offensive firepower. It's on the bench tonight, Flagler and Cryer. The Bears finally with a little bit of momentum. They've got the ball, can extend the lead even more. And it's been hard to do in this game. Tarleton is not easy to score on.
All right, Bears ball inbounding. They overshoot George. Breakaway. Dunk at the other end by Javonte Hopkins.
Yeah, it's a live turnover that turned into a bucket at the other end. And George just missed the pass. Went right through his hands, the inbounds pass. Had he been able to field that one, he's probably dunking it.
So now a 1-point game again, 24-23. They still want a foul on the perimeter. Darren George would tell us the foul is on Keandre Gaddy of Tarleton.
Yeah, here's the breakaway, and it's just off to the races. Nobody could do anything about it. How about that lift?
Pretty good hops there.
He was up in a nanosecond. Looked like he took off on a mini tramp.
Yeah. Hopkins listed at 6 feet tall. Really good hops.
Yeah, you know, Bears missed an opportunity to extend that lead. They do get Bridges back to the line. Bridges has been kind of a workhorse tonight. Has 4 points, 4 rebounds in the game, and his 2 made field goals have been on offensive rebounds and putbacks. A really good free throw shooter.
Keyonte George to the bench. Caleb Lohner is in. Bridges misses another free throw. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah.
Again, 83% coming in.
That's right, 20 of 24 coming in.
Yeah. So no bonus there. Lead remains 1. Tarleton looking to regain the lead. Shot rolls off. Langston Love rebounds. The outlet to Bonner. Bonner to Lohner. Here's Thamba, the trailer. In the paint. Nice move. Open in by Flo Thamba.
That's a move you don't normally see him make. Caught the ball in scoring position, and the coaches tell him, you get that close to the basket, we need a bucket or we need free throws. He got the bucket down. That's a big one with 4:32 to play in the half.
Bears by 3, playing without 2 starters. Their top 2 leading scorers, Adam Flagler and L.J. Cryer, not available tonight. Bonner about to break into the passing lane there. Shot by Williams is no good. Lou Williams misses. Rebound Baylor. To Love, up in the air to Lohner. In a triple team, ball knocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Bears. So it'll be Baylor's ball to inbound on their baseline, leading by 3, 4:07 on the clock, first half.
We talked about being strong with the ball when you get it. That's why. I mean, Tarleton is coming after you. When you've got that ball, if you put it where they can reach it, grab it, strike at it, rake it, they're more times than not going to come away with the ball.
20 on the shot clock. Bonner inbounds to Langston Love. Love dribbles out of traffic, gives to Bridges. Back to Love. Long range 3. It is good. Three-pointer by Langston Love. Bears have their biggest lead of the first half at 29-23.
I think this is Love's coming out party, John. He's got 10 in the game now. And look how confident he is. Catches it, lets it fly. And I mean, he was ready to shoot it just as soon as he caught it. Langston Love is coming back.
We're back inside the Farrell Center in Waco, Texas. It is Baylor and Tarleton. 3:58 on the clock, first half. Both teams hit by injuries or illness coming into the game tonight. Baylor playing without their top two scorers on the season. Adam Flagler is out due to illness. L.J. Cryer is out due to a back situation. For Tarleton, Ja'Cory Smith is out. He's their second leading scorer on the year. Also, Timothy Ferguson and Noah McDavid also out. So, Pat, sort of a battle of attrition, a battle of depth between these two right now. Baylor leads it 29-23.
Yeah, and Baylor does have depth, particularly at the guard spot, and they've needed that tonight, John. Because you're talking about with Cryer and Flagler out, 38% of its scoring gone, and you wonder where those points are going to come from. Well, Langston Love and Dale Bonner have combined for 17 of Baylor's 29.
First career start for Langston Love tonight. He's made the most of it with 10. Tarleton ball coming out of the timeout. A drive by Lou Williams. He is bumped by Baylor's Joshua John-Wuna.
The Bears have done a pretty good job keeping Tarleton off the free throw line. They're 3 of 5 there. But we said it earlier, Bears repeating 28.2 free throws again, and sometimes you can see that's their best offense. Just turn the corner on your defender, take it right into the chest of, in that case, John-Wuna. And if you can get an and one, great. If not, going to shoot a couple of free throws.
First one is no good by Lou Williams. It's calculated, isn't it? I mean, the way Tarleton gets to the free throw line as much as they do.
It is, because, again, they're not a real skilled offensive team. They don't shoot it all that well. They're not a great three-point shooting team, although they made a few threes tonight. But sometimes your best offense is just get to the line when nothing else works. And they get 1 of 2 here. Averaging 28.2 free throws a game.
That's a bunch.
Isn't that a bunch?
It really is. 29-24 the score. Baylor by 5. 3:40 on the clock. Dale Bonner picking up the point guard minutes tonight with Flagler and Cryer out. This is the handle here. Turnover Bears. Loner back defensively but commits the foul.
That's something else they do really well, John, is forced turnovers. They've got the second best average turnover margin in the country at plus 8.8 a game. And they've had some success tonight. They have forced 8 Baylor turnovers and 8 points off those turnovers. So it's get to the glass, get to the free throw line, force turnovers, and get transition buckets. And they've been able to hang in this game using that recipe down by just 5.
Corian Russian shooting free throws. Keyonte George back on the floor for the Bears. George scoreless so far tonight. The dynamic freshman for the Bears 0 for 5 from the floor. A couple of misses at the line by Russian. Bears ball. Knocked out of bounds. Last touched by a Texan. Tarleton coached by Billy Clyde Gillespie, one-time Baylor assistant. He's on the staff of Harry Miller, 1994 to 1997. Left here to go to Tulsa on Bill Self's staff. He's been a head coach at UTEP, at Texas A&M, at Kentucky, and Texas Tech. Now here at Tarleton. Foul on that rebound attempt. I think this will be on Tarleton.
Well, we'll see who'll go to the free throw line for the Bears, and it's George. We talked about George's ability to get to the glass. He is the 3rd leading rebounder on this team. 4 rebounds a ball game. Ball's up for grabs. It's coming off the weak side, and you can see George is right there to go up and take it away from the 2 Texans. Looking for his first points of the night at the line, gets his first one down.
Point tonight for Keyonte George, averages 14.9 per game. He's the Big 12 co-newcomer of the week. Had an outstanding game for the Bears in the win over Gonzaga.
Yeah, this guy makes tough shots, and he makes them look easy. He's got a great jump shot, But his ability to get the ball into the lane and be creative and finish at the rim is well beyond really his level of maturity. He's a true freshman, but he played the other night against Gonzaga like a senior.
Unfazed, wasn't he?
Unfazed.
Bears have their biggest lead of the half at the 3-minute mark, 31-24. Drive by Williams, around George, head fake, drew the foul. Lou Williams, a good job of drawing contact there. It's going to be a foul on Josh Ojanwuna, and that is his second of the first half.
And Williams again, just break your defender down, turn the corner, get into the lane, try to finish at the rim and get to the free throw line. And Ojanwuna is going to learn. I mean, that time he left his feet, and Coach Drew is telling him now, stay on the ground. You're 6'10", you got a 7'6" wingspan. Just alter the shot. You don't have to block everything, but you leave the floor and you're going to commit a foul. So Williams again into the lane right around George, and you see Ojanwuna leave his feet. And when he does that, Williams can go to work on him. You know, Tarleton's leaving some points at the free throw line.
They are. They're just 4 of 10 shooting free throws tonight. They get 4 of 11.
Wow.
Yeah, they are missing some opportunities there. Rebound Langston Love. And the Bears continue with a 7-point advantage. Ojanwuna, jumper in the paint. How about that look?
Yeah, nice skilled shot and really under control when he caught it. First thing you got to do is catch it in traffic. Did that on the assist from George and made it look easy. See George penetrate along the baseline, pull the defense away. Ojanwuna was ready to shoot it when he caught it. It looked good.
6 points in the first half by Big Josh. Timeout, Tarleton. Baylor's lead is 9, the biggest of the first half, 33-24 over the Texans. At the new poll this week, Bears dropped from number 6 to number 12 in the Associated Press poll. That is, quite obviously, out of the top 10. You said earlier, for the first time in 3 years, 54 weeks of polls, Baylor was in the top 10, the longest active stretch in the nation.
It's crazy. And we talked before the last game, I think, about how really good teams in the country are getting whacked. Like Gonzaga has lost 3 games by 20 points, one of those an exhibition game, and it's all across the board. North Carolina, the preseason #1 team in the country, out of the polls.
Yeah.
And this is a team, John, that could still win the national championship. It's crazy.
Amazing model of consistency for Scott Drew and the Bears. Still in the top 25 for the 61st consecutive week. That is the second longest active streak in the nation, behind Gonzaga.
Right. And Tarleton with a bucket, a big bucket right out of that timeout. 2 minutes to play in the half. They got to stay within striking distance.
Well-designed play out of the timeout. Ojanwuna, the Love, 3, corner, no good. Keyonte George with the putback.
Again, great rebounder, has a nose for the ball. He knows where it's going, and he's there when the ball gets there. And really quickly, right back up with it in traffic. Another bucket off of a rebound.
Starting to heat up a little bit. His first basket from the floor for Keyonte George. Bears back up by 9, 35-26. Nice move to the bucket, and the banker is good by Keandre Gaddy.
Again, pulling Ojanwuna a little out of his comfort zone and going to work on him. He'll get to where he can defend there, but he's not quite there yet.
Bonner, outside it goes to George. Head fake, looks to drive, ball knocked away and stolen. Turnover Bears. Booker, the layup at the other end, too strong. Rebound by Gaddy is up and in, and a foul.
Yeah, that's the last thing Baylor wanted to happen. They were able to avoid an easy layup in the open floor. And so you see George lose it again. Here comes another point off of a turnover if they can convert. Not able to do that, but then offensive rebound and put back. That's what Tarleton does best. They're not great in the half court. They're trying to work their way to the free throw line, and they've been successful getting there. They just don't have much to show for it.
That was on Jalen Bridges, his first of the night. Puts Gaddy at the line, trying to complete the 3-point play. This is quite a sequence for Tarleton, but they miss another free throw. Wow. Pat, you're right, leaving a lot of points at the line. 4 of 12 shooting free throws in the first half.
Foul on Lohner. Yeah, it was Lohner setting a screen, just trying to get the offense going and get Love maybe a head start against his pressure, and Lohner called for the foul. That's going to get Jordan Turner into the game.
Yeah, that's troubling. That's 4 personal fouls on Caleb Lohner in the first half.
You know, he is, talk about a guy that's in the thick of it. I mean, anytime there's contact, Lohner's going to be right in the middle of it, but he's going to have to sit.
Jordan Turner back on for the second time tonight. His first action of the year, been out with a wrist injury. And there is a traveling call on Corian Russian, turnover Tarleton.
Now, Bears have had a chance to separate, but they've never been able to get any further than the 5-point lead they have now. Got a chance now, you know, last minute and a half or so of the first half, always critical to, again, set the tone. You want to go into halftime with a little bit of momentum. More than anything, you want to separate and keep Tarleton from being in striking distance.
Turner inbounds the ball, gets it back, drive, layup, too strong for Jordan Turner. Rebound fought for, and Flo Thamba has it for the Bears. Offensive rebound with 40 seconds to go in the half. A 3 by George, shot no good. Here comes Tarleton. They trail by 9. Right now it's 5 with 30 seconds to go before halftime. Pass off the hands and out of bounds off Russian. Turnover Texans.
Now the Bears can finish the half on their offensive end of the floor. In worst case scenario, you don't want to give Tarleton another shot. Run something here, be a little bit deliberate, get a high quality shot going at halftime, up 7, up 8 with a 3. Oh, now they're calling a flop on Hopkins. And that's interesting, John, that's a free throw this year.
It is, it's a technical foul is what it is. Not a warning, a flop. The first call of a flop is a technical free throw. So Baylor will shoot a free throw here.
It's a big play.
Hopkins, right?
Yeah. And he was closely guarding Bonner, and looked like there might have been a little bit of contact between the two of them. But yeah, so Bonner stops on a dime, making his move, being a little bit deliberate, taking it across half court. And I don't know, I didn't see any contact, but Bonner stopped on a dime, and Hopkins kept going. And the official call was he flopped, over-exaggerated whatever contact there was there.
Well, interesting to see that new rule played out right there. Bears have the ball. They got the free throw. Now a chance to get the final shot of the half right here. Bonner drops it off for Keyonte George. Ball knocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Bears with now 4 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, good look again at Dale Bonner's ability to blow by a defender and create for his teammates. Nothing to show for it there, but Bonner's as good as it gets on this team at doing that.
All right, see what they can pull off here. 4 seconds, really plenty of time to get off a good shot. Here, and George hands the ball to Bonner. They put 2/10 of a second on the clock, so 4.2. Everybody went to sleep. Inbounds to Langston Love, and he is fouled after the shot.
What a play. I mean, how did that develop? It looked like Tarleton had it well guarded, and was having a hard time getting the ball in, and then quickly, out of nowhere, Langston Love sneaks in behind the defense, gets the bucket, and he'll finish the half with a couple of free throws.
So I guess, will he get 1 free throw or 2? Maybe that came after the shot,
well,
right?
We're about to see. We'll see what Aaron George calls here. But it wasn't on the shot. He had taken the shot, he had come back down, and then the defender fell on top of him. So let's see. Yeah.
Well, the officials are looking at the monitor over there. How about the first half by Langston Love, his first career start. He's got 12 points right now.
See, he's down. I mean, you watch the replay. He shot it. The ball is in the net when the defender fell on top of him. So we'll see what the call is. But I think arguably had nothing to do with the shot. It was after it.
So things very much to Baylor's liking at the end of the half here.
Yeah, they are giving him 1 free throw.
1 free throw, okay. And they put 2.8 seconds on the clock. So Love can tie his career high if he hits this free throw, and he does. 13 and a half by Langston Love.
And he's been good on a night where they had to have something special from the other guards.
Inbounds, shot at the buzzer, no good. The Bears have their largest lead of the game at 9 points as we reach halftime. 39-30, Baylor on top of the intermission.
Yeah, finally able to separate. In fact, Baylor enjoying the largest lead that it's had in the first half here at halftime. And it's been, when you hold your opponent to 30 points defensively, you've been pretty good.
Bears lead it at halftime over Tarleton, 39-30. Stay with us. Back to begin our halftime activities in just a moment. About to begin the second half here in the Farrell Center. John Morris, Pat Nunley. Pat, here are some of the first half stats. Baylor leads it by 9, 39-30.
Yeah, those stats really are fairly even, with the exception of free throws and second chance points. Tarleton has left a lot of points at the line, just 4 of 12. And Baylor has 24 rebounds to 16 for Tarleton. 11, almost half of Baylor's rebounds are offensive rebounds, which have led to those 14 second chance points. So, it's been a close game other than that, and that's really, those two stats more than anything else have allowed Baylor to separate by 9 at halftime.
Again, both teams dealing with some significant losses of players in the game this evening. Baylor without their top 2 scorers. Adam Flagler and L.J. Cryer have not played and will not play in the game this evening. Flagler out with illness, Cryer out with back injury, or a back situation at least. There's a bucket by Shakur Daniel to start the second half. That's the lead to 7.
Yeah, again, that's penetration. That's what they do. They're not looking to shoot many threes. They made 2 in the first half, as did Baylor. But that's the recipe for success. Get those big, long guards into the lane. Yeah, Thamba, I guess it was Thamba, called for setting an illegal screen out away from the basket. That's something he normally does really well. In fact, Coach Drew calls him an elite ball screener. That one didn't go so well.
So Tarleton has the ball back, 39-32 our score. Baylor averaging 85 points per game. They'll have to go some to get there tonight. Pass back out, finds its way to Daniel. Corner left elbow jumper is good by Daniel.
Yeah, and it's 2 baskets in as many possessions for Tarleton to start the second half. That's exactly what they needed. Again, just trying to stay within striking distance, keep Baylor's lead manageable. Good start.
Thamba back to George, right back to Thamba. Nice assist, Thamba with the left-hand lay-in.
Yeah, that's 4 assists in the ballgame for George on a night where he's really not scoring it much. But we said before the game, this guy loves to play off the ball, loves to share it with his teammates. And 4 assists to show for that effort.
41-34 is the Baylor lead. Leaner on the baseline right is no good by Lou Williams. Rebound Bears. Jalen Bridges going to bring it up himself. Jalen Bridges going to take it all the way to the baseline. He is bumped there. Foul is called on Shamir Bogues.
Yeah, and Bogues last year was the member of the WAC's all-defensive team as a true freshman. And you can see he applies ball pressure and is really good at it. But this team, because they apply so much pressure defensively, Tarleton is prone to foul. That's why the Bears shot 12 free throws in the first half.
Bogues picks up his 3rd personal foul. He'll take a seat. Hopkins is on. 3 by Bridges straight away. Shot no good. Bamba scrapping for the loose ball. He can't get it. Javonte Hopkins does.
Yeah, Bridges just can't buy a bucket from a 3-point line. 19% on the season so far.
Here's Daniels with the drive, and Bonner's going to be called for the foul. Bonner trying to get in position to draw the charge. Instead, picks up personal number 2.
Now, Daniels off to a great start. He's got 4 points in the second half alone. And here he comes again. That's his offense. I mean, that's really Tarleton's MO, is use those long, rangy guards who all have a quick first step. And they're all anywhere from 6'4" to 6'7". Let them get into the lane and work their way to the line. That's been a nice way for them to start the second half.
Couple of free throws there by Daniels. After Tarleton really struggled at the line in the first half, those 2 free throws make it a 5-point game. Baylor 41, Tarleton 36. First meeting since 1986 between these two. Thamba drives off balance. Coach Drew doesn't like the call, but it's going to be a traveling call on Flo Thamba.
Yeah, and that's not Baylor's best offense. I mean, Thamba can handle the ball there, but that far away from the basket, he's not a guy that can put it on the floor and really turn the corner on anybody. He's a relief pass there away, and now he just tries to go to work, and that's just not his thing. He's really more of a back-to-the-bucket guy in terms of his threat to score. And another turnover. Tarleton gets it back.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, it is a turnover. I thought they called a foul on that. Gary Pollard kind of showed an elbow, but it is just a turnover by Baylor. Bears pick it up defensively. Josh Ojanwuna is on, pass through the hands and out of bounds. Turnover, Texans.
You know, not a bad play, really. I thought that ball just had a little bit of heat on it and was hard for the guy intending to receive it to handle it. But this is what Tarleton does and does best. And when they're doing this, John, they're controlling pace. They want this game to finish in the 60s, and right now, not too far off of that pace.
Here's ball.
Tarleton had Arizona State down in Tempe with about 5 minutes to play, just couldn't finish.
Lost that game by 3, 62-59, season opener November 7th. Foul on the Texans. Keyonte George thought he was in the act of shooting.
Yeah, it was Keyonte just looking for a ball screen, turns it down, into the lane he goes, and he's just looking for contact. He got it, hoping to get a couple of free throws out of it.
Wow.
And this foul is called on Ojanwuna. And you know, that has really been a focal point for the officials in this game, is looking for illegal screens. They've got Thamba a couple times, and I think that's Ojanwuna's second one as well.
So Tarleton has the ball back 3 minutes into the second half, 41-36. Kind of an uneven start to this second half. Tarleton trying to take advantage. Nice trip to the bucket. The left-hand layup is good by Javonte Hopkins.
Nothing fancy about that. It's just get a little head start, get the ball into the lane, and finish. Bears really struggling to get some pressure on the ball.
Now a battle for that loose ball. Hopkins, junior out of Fort Bend Travis High School in the Houston area. See what the call is here.
Now Bridges really in the trenches tonight. Hasn't made any, I don't think he's made a field goal yet, but has been able, he's got a couple of second chance points, but his game has gone to the inside. He's playing in the lane rather than floating around at the perimeter. And you can see the kind of contact you can expect when you go down there.
Last play, he got Gaddy off his feet and ended up on top of Bridges for his third personal foul.
You know, clunky first 3.5 minutes or so for the Bears. Yeah, they've been outscored 8-2, 16:35 to go in the game, but looking for a little momentum. Half with offensive momentum, they haven't found it yet.
Now on Daniels, his second. George for three is good from the left corner.
That'll help. And that's where the ball needs to be. George really not much of a factor shooting the ball in the first half, but he's come to life here in the second. 4 assists, that's his 7th point.
First made three tonight by Keyonte George. Baylor fans react. Williams drives in, lost the handle, but last touched by Josh Ojanwuna. Yeah. Another look at it, Pat. Nothing at all clunky about this.
No, not at all. And on the assist from Bonner, Bonner looking for George. I think they all feel like they've got to get him heated up.
And a foul's going to be called on Langston Love, trying to get that loose ball. Coach Drew right now beside himself.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Wow.
That ball was up for grabs, but coaching staff talks a lot about defensively raking, and that's a great example there. As you're helping off your defender, you rake the ball, you don't foul. Now the Bears force a quick turnover.
Hopkins stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Turnover Texans. Billy Gillespie can't believe that call.
Yeah. Been a lot of pressure in this game, and particularly from Tarleton's perspective, they push you so far out with pressure. Sometimes you're playing a little closer to the out-of-bounds line you think you are.
Here's Bonner, brings it up for the Bears. For the most part, running the point tonight for Baylor. To Bridges, to Love for three, and he splashes it.
That's a great example of good shot, better shot, best shot. I think it was Bridges turned down one to get it to Love, and it was just catch and shoot. He's got 16 in the game, career high.
Baylor 2 of 3 on three-pointers here in the second half. Keyonte George. What a finish on the 2-on-1 break. Love with the splash on the alley-oop.
Yeah, and Love had to run about 90 feet to complete that play.
Timeout, Billy Clyde Gillespie. This crowd is into it now. An 8-0 run by the Bears over the last minute 5. Keyonte George, the alley-oop to Langston Love. Baylor leads by 11, their biggest lead of the night. Here's the exclamation point going to that last timeout. Keyonte George with the alley-oop to Langston Love, Pat, who is having a career night tonight.
Well, he's finally getting some time to play. He's been struggling because of injury, coming back from that, and he's earned some minutes. Well, in fact, he's getting more minutes tonight because of the absence, the illness of Flagler and the back problem of Pryor. John, coming into this game, he's only playing 11 minutes a game. Wow. And so now with some significant minutes in this one, you're getting a really good look at what he can do. He can score. He's got 18 points in the game, but he's rebounding. He's got 4 rebounds in the game and is just comfortable now. He's active, and he's been chomping at the bit to play for a long time. Now he gets his chance.
First career start tonight, Langston Love making the most of it. He's the leading scorer on either team, sitting at 18 points tonight. Tarleton ball coming out of the timeout. Top of the key drive, step back, short jumper, about 3 bounces on the rim and in for Shakur Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel's been good. I mean, Daniel in the second half, I believe it is at 8 points, and he's been the guy that's allowed Tarleton to hang in here. That last run by the Bears gave them their largest lead of the game, 11. It's down to 9 now.
Here's Alado Janwuna, ball knocked away and stolen by Tarleton. Lou Williams will bring it up for the Texans. Daniel dribbles back between the rings. 49-40, Baylor leads. Bears led by the same margin at halftime. Shot clock at 10 for the Texans. Williams looking against Bonner. Drives on the baseline, shot wild and no good.
That's great defense.
There's George for 3, skips over the rim. Jalen Bridges can't handle the rebound, out of bounds, off of Bridges. It'll be Texans ball following a timeout. Timeout on the floor, Bears 49, Tarleton 40 from Waco. Tarleton and Waco tonight taking on 12th ranked Baylor. That is more the norm than the abnorm for Tarleton. They are not shy about a very tough non-conference schedule. Look at who they played over the last 2 seasons: at Stanford, at Kansas, Wichita State twice, at Michigan, at Gonzaga, at Arizona State. Lost in college in the semifinals of the Paradise Jam and won it by 16, their first ever Power 5 victory in program history.
Well, Billy Gillespie's not afraid to play anybody, and I think he understands too, as they move to Division I, it's a bit of a new ball game, right, and you got to go play people to get better. That's what Coach Drew was doing when he first got here. Just go out and play, have a chance to get a win. The Arizona State game, we talked about that already. Really looked like they had that one under control with about 5 minutes to play. So they're close, but you're not going to take any big steps program-wise until you go out and get a win against one of the big boys.
There's a foul, a hold, and the foul's going to be on Keandre Gaddy as the Bears inbound the ball. That's his fourth personal on Gaddy. That'll hamstring them a little bit with the big guy. Now his 4th personal.
Coming in, Tarleton has a tendency to foul a lot because they're so physical. I think this game has been played in a similar way for both teams.
Bonner, the inbounder, gets it into Love. Love puts his head down into the paint. Jalen Bridges, runner,
Wow.
he banks it in.
Yeah, I wanted a foul, but again, John, he's turning down threes, and that's for good reason. Right now, the ball's just not going in. So the damage he is doing is in the lane on the offensive glass. Big bucket for him.
6 on the night by Bridges. Bears lead is 11, equals their biggest lead of the night, 51-40. Still a long way to go in this game, 13 and a half minutes on the clock. Daniel on the perimeter. To Gary Clark, up and in for a three-pointer. Gary Clark, 6'7", sophomore from St. Louis.
Yeah, that's his second made three of the year. He's now 2 for 9.
Wow.
But if Tarleton's going to come in here and win, they got to do something a little different. And threes from a guy like Clark fall into that category.
But remember, threes not really their game. Ojan Wuna goes for the dunk. It hits the back iron. Ball saved by Keyonte George. Pretty high ricochet off the back of the rim, and Bonner given a second chance, knocks down the triple.
And that's assist number 6 for Keyonte George in the ball game. And Del Bonner now 6 of 12 from the three-point line this season. This is a guy, a year ago, John, was a 22% three-point shooter. He's doubled that average this year.
11 on the night by Dale Bonner. Bears have their biggest lead tonight, or it equals their biggest lead at 11. In the corner, looking for another three. This one no good by Clark. Here comes Langston Love. In a hurry up the floor. Ball knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. We'll stay with the Bears with 12:25 on the clock. Here's the missed dunk. Look how high. You can't even see how high that ball bounced. But George to Love. Spots Bonner for the knockdown triple.
You know, you hear Coach Drew talk about how you want three side in. Perfect example there as Love broke the defense down and had Bonner at the top of the key, and it was just catch and shoot. And this year he's deadly. Been really good, has Bonner from the three-point line.
That ball's from, or threes from the top down. That ball bounced so high into the Farrell Center. Ojan Wuna, nice touch. Jumper won't fall from the baseline right. A whistle and a foul. If this is on Caleb Lohner, that's 5 on him.
Yeah, I think they called this against Tarleton, and he's holding his breath. He just now exhaled because he knew one more and he's out. But you know, you can't put a bit in his mouth. I mean, this is a guy that loves contact. He's really physical. That's his game. And so if he's not putting a body on somebody, he's really not doing what he's supposed to do. But he'll work his way to the free throw line. Bears now up 11. They've separated some. Hadn't been easy to do.
That was on Corian Russian. That is his second. Here's Lohner and Russian battling each other there. Yeah, it sure wasn't a foul on Lohner, but you're right. He was holding his breath a little bit.
Yeah. No, there was a day where that would be considered really pretty good rebounding position.
Yeah.
And what he did, Russian, was just had his rear end on Lohner and then moved him. And that's where the foul was called.
2 free throws gives the Bears their biggest lead tonight, 56-43 over Tarleton. 12-12 on the clock, second half. Daniel will hand the ball to Bogues on the perimeter. Baylor starting to exert themselves rebounding-wise, now leading Tarleton 29-17 on the boards. 3 left side by Bogues, in and out. Ojan Wuna the rebound. Bonner pushes the tempo to George. The alley-oop to Lohner. Boy, he did a good job just to keep that one in bounds. Back to George, back to Lohner, and this time he's fouled. Little high flying action there for the Bears. Lohner will go back to the line. Baylor leading by 13. Well, that last foul was on Tarleton, and it was on Gaddy, and that is his 5th. So he has been excused for the night. Gaddy has fouled out. That's a big loss, Pat, to lose him with a lot of time left, 11 minutes, 40 seconds to play.
Yeah, Tarleton not real deep. In fact, neither team tonight is deep. Baylor typically is, but with the injuries to Flagler or the illness to Cryer, Baylor, the cupboard's a little bare over there. It's an interesting stat in the game. Tarleton has got 24 points from its bench. Baylor just 10.
Wow.
More times than not, it's the other way around. But you're right, losing Gaddy and not having depth, as Tarleton needs to make a run here. Down by 13, 11:40 to play. It's going to be hard to do. And the way they play, they need to run players in and out because it is high pressure.
Caleb Lohner shooting free throws. The 1+ as play resumes. Lohner has been good at the line tonight, 3 of 3. Baylor's been good overall, 12 of 15 shooting free throws.
Yeah, really good. And that had been a struggle for the Bears getting to the line earlier. Done it well against Gonzaga. They shot a bunch of them down the stretch when they had to have them.
Miss on the second one. Ball tipped out. Shakur Daniel runs it up for Tarleton. Bears lead by 14. That's their biggest lead this evening. Round the perimeter and a steal by Bonner. Bonner will take it all the way, and he's fouled on the layup attempt. How about the quick hands of Dale Bonner on defense?
Yeah, really, that's what he does best, I think. Now, he's got an offensive pop, but you can just see how he anticipates passes. He's up, he's disruptive, he's in every passing lane. Anticipated that one well, got his 20th steal on the season, and that is by far the leader in that category. John, thinking back to the Gonzaga game, stuck him in there that last Gonzaga possession solely for defensive purposes, and he deflects a pass and gets the ball back.
Yeah, that was a huge play.
Huge play.
Bonner did not score in that game, but made it a huge impact in the 64-63 Baylor win. Tonight he's scoring to go with it. That's his 12th point, looking for 13. And he won't get it here. Jordan Turner is in. Turner banks it up. Too hard, no good. Turner getting some significant minutes tonight.
Yeah, offensive rebound again for the Bears. They've had a bunch of those in the game. It's 14 offensive rebounds, a bunch of second chance points. They've really been able to hurt the Texans on their offensive glass.
Jordan Turner, the junior out of Houston, Sunrise Christian. Been out with a wrist injury all season before tonight. Shot up, no good. Lohner was standing there with his arms extended, but he's going to be whistled for the foul. Yeah. I'd like to see that one again, because that is personal number 5 on Caleb Lohner.
You know, and he's going to have a tendency to foul because he's just so active, and he's always in the fray. Behind the defender here, good defense, got his hands up, not looking to block anything. And, well, you know, it sure looked like he got a piece of the shot, but I'm not sure. It may have been Brown just lost it on the way up. You tell Lohner's doing everything he can to just keep his hands back.
Right, knowing he has 4 fouls.
Yeah.
That is a tough 5th foul right there on Caleb Lohner. He is done for the night. Puts Rod Brown at the free throw line, 6'7" grad student from Memphis. Throw is good by Brown.
You know, really a storyline in this game, John, has been Tarleton's ability to get to the line. We knew they could do that, but their inability to squeeze this game a little tighter at the line. They are now 7 of 15. Is that right? Yeah, from the line in the game.
Brown, another free throw. And Tarleton now 50% shooting free throws tonight. Couple there, tough for Caleb Lohner to be done for the night. Jordan Turner may get a lot of minutes this evening.
Yeah, really increased minutes for Bonner, for Love, for Turner, all of those guys, and they have responded.
Thamba, the big man, dribbling on the perimeter. Gives to Bonner, patrol of it, and then he's fouled. Foul's going to be on Rod Brown.
You know, and that's really an area that I've always felt like was a growing edge for Flo Thamba, is to receive a pass like that and then either finish at the bucket, get fouled, get free throws, whatever. And he struggled at the line this season. He's been really good on the glass, but from the free throw line, he is just a 42% free throw shooter. First one way off the mark here. So again, you get it that close to the basket, you got to have points. And Thamba struggled to do that this year.
Field goals the last 2.5 minutes by either team. Free throw there, 1 of 2 by Thamba. There's lead by 14 again. 10.5 minutes and counting in the second half. Brown didn't here in the second half. Nice leaner and a foul drawn. Shakur Daniel will shoot free throws. Foul is going to be on Dale Bonner.
You know, they just grind away. Tarleton does. What they've been able to do offensively is just sort of push. They're applying offensive pressure to Baylor's defense, and they just sort of push the defense into the lane. Look how compact it gets in there. You just right in there with 3 or 4 different guys, a couple of Tarleton guys hanging around in there. They're really not even looking for perimeter shots. They want to get buckets in the lane or free throws.
And the free throws have been elusive for the Tarleton Texans tonight. Under 50% at the line.
You know, John, really, that arguably is the difference in this game.
Yeah.
They've gotten there. They just don't have anything to show for it and not able to build any momentum by capitalizing at the line.
1 of 2. Bonner's going to bring it up against pressure. Gives to Thamba, center of the floor, puts the ball on the floor, drives, and he's fouled.
He caught it in no man's land on the pass from Bonner, and he was so wide open, decided he just needed to take a shot at it.
Look at him smiling.
Yeah, just hadn't had much success doing that tonight, but he'll go back to the free throw line. So he catches it, he looks around, and nobody is there. And it's a foot race to the rim, and at least going to get a couple of free throws out of this. You think about it, Flo Thamba, John, has won 2 Big 12 championships and a national championship in the years that he has been here. He has seen a lot of basketball. So, you know, his inability to make free throws right now, see how valuable he is to the team just through his experience, his maturity, his calm, understands what it takes.
Well, think about this. If the Bears win tonight, it'll be Flo Thamba's 100th win in a Baylor uniform.
Wow.
That'll set a new school record.
Wow.
So that is a lot of winning with Flo Thamba on the floor and on the roster.
You know, he's an anchor down there. Along the baseline, you can see how well he communicates. He's directing traffic. He's talking to teammates. He can see the floor from the baseline, and from that position, you've got to talk.
That's a turnover. Daniels bounces the ball intended for Brown, but out of bounds. Turnover, Texans. Thamba sitting at 6 points tonight with a made free throw. That ties his season high scoring. So Keyonte George brings the ball across the timeline. George, 7 points this evening. Bonner up with a 3. It is no good. Front iron and off.
I think this foul will be on Thamba. Going over the back, I believe. Let's see, it is. Yep. You know, we thought Tarleton would try to control this pace, and I think they have. I mean, ideally, they'd like to have this game finish in the 60s. We're at 60-46 now. But the Bears, even with Flagler and Cryer on the bench, John, have found enough offensive firepower that they've been able to separate like they're accustomed to doing. You know, an 8-0 run, a 10-0 run here and there. And it hasn't been easy to do, but they've got a 14-point lead with 9:22 to play.
Rod Brown back at the free throw line where he just hit a couple and hits the first one here. He's still got 9:22 to go in this game, Pat. We're going to have a lot of free throws down the stretch.
Yeah, we could be here a while. Both these teams know how to get to the line. That's 19, looking at 20 now for Tarleton. Baylor's already taken 22 free throw attempts in the game. And like you said, got another half of a half.
Rod Brown, a new season high with 3 points, even with the second free throw miss. Ball goes out of bounds. Good hustle by Tarleton, trying to keep it inbounds.
You know, Bears have to feel pretty good about their defense in this game, John. They've for each game is to hold the opponent to 38% field goal shooting or less. Hadn't been the case in this game. But the bottom line is, are they scoring? And right now, Tarleton is not. They've struggled to do it all game long.
Yeah, sitting at 47 points with 9:08 to go. There's inbound if the ball is tipped out of bounds. Bonner penetrates, lob, shot no good by Thamba. Boy, he got it close in there. Ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by a Texan player, so we'll stay with Baylor. And 20 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, it could be Thamba wasn't sure whether that was going to be a shot by Bonner or a pass. And wasn't sure he was completely ready for it. But again, a shot that happens 3 or 4 feet from the basket. Got to get those down.
Inbounds Love, quick three, shot no good. Keyonte George the rebound, and he is fouled. Well, like I said, we're going to have a lot of free throws down the stretch.
Yep, we are. And that is rebound number 5 for George in the game. And we talked about, as we opened the broadcast, about his ability to really score big, averages almost 15 a game. But what's really impressed me is how he plays off the ball, how hard he plays, how willing he is to fight on the glass. 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Those are statistics that we didn't necessarily expect from him coming in. Just thought about big scoring numbers. Well, he's a complete player, and he is happy to share the ball.
That's it. Very much a team player.
Very much.
Doesn't force his shot. When his shot's there, he'll take it, but he doesn't force it. And very much satisfied with an assist as much as a bucket. Short timeout. We will keep it right here. Here's a look at the Big 12 and the top 25 of this week's Associated Press poll. Texas sitting at number 2 in the nation, and they fall tonight to Illinois in the Jimmy V Classic at Madison Square Garden. Texas lost to Illinois tonight, 85-78 in overtime. If you're wondering, Matthew Meyer, big game, 21 points to lead Illinois. 5 of 5 3-point shooting for the former Baylor player. Kansas number 6, Baylor at 12, Iowa State 20, TCU at 24.
Well, John, that tells you a lot, but there is so much more to learn about all of those teams, not just the Big 12 teams, but every team in the top 25. I mean, it's fairly crazy this year.
Yeah.
You just don't really know. Like we said, North Carolina went from number 1 to out of the poll. So you don't know. You've got a pretty good feel. But we're now, what, John, 2-3 weeks away from – that's when you start figuring some things out.
December 31st in Ames is where it starts for these Bears. Play Iowa State on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
John Wuna working hard defensively, moving his feet well, but he's called for the foul of Bogues.
That was really good defense, and that's outside of his comfort zone. He likes being in the low post, but just on the ball, moving laterally really well. Didn't reach. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought he did everything pretty much like you'd ask him to there.
Well, Coach Drew is still looking for an explanation. Not going to get it.
Missed free throw, rebound Bears. Langston Love, the outlet to Dale Bonner. Bears ball leading 62-47, 8.5 minutes to play. Tarleton starts WAC play December 29th against UT Arlington. John Wuna gives to Love, around the screen, back to Big Josh, ball tipped away, Bonner saves the possession. 3 to shoot, George puts it up, 3 out of bounds, no good.
Yeah. Just trying to be, I think, a little more deliberate in the half court. 8 minutes to play. A 15-point lead in a game like this is a big, big lead. And so, nothing, no early shots in the possession. Shots that you can get any time during the possession. And just get this thing wound down.
Williams nearly lost the handle, gets the pass away. Brown has it on the baseline. 10 to shoot again. Leaner, shot no good. Langston Love, another rebound, but knocked out of his hands. Langston Love having some kind of night for the Bears. Timeout on the floor, Bears by 15. Scott Drew in the huddle here. How much difference has Scott Drew made in this program? Well, there's one graphic that shows that. First 97 years of Baylor basketball, the team played 2 games as a ranked team. Since Scott Drew has been here, and this is his 20th year, 320 games as a ranked team. Not to mention Big 12 titles and a national championship under Scott Drew.
And the challenge is for Baylor fans that have been around during the really, really good years is to just really sink your teeth into that and understand what this program has been able to do. John, one of the stats I love, Baylor 24-7 against AP top 25 teams over the last 4 seasons. That is the best in the country.
Yeah.
And I think another challenge is never, ever, never take that for granted.
Yeah, no.
Ever.
Don't take it for granted. Don't get complacent about that. Appreciate what's going on here under Scott Drew. Selected to the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in their most recent class. He'll be inducted April 15th of 2023. Isn't that great? Love it with Coach Drew, and a guy that deserves everything good that comes his way. Nice feed. Ojanwuna lays it in.
You know, and George with his 6th assist is just orchestrating out there. Really, when he's playing the point guard position, he knows what he wants to do, and that time he sort of passed Ojanwuna into scoring position. You know, he anticipated that the lane was open and just put it where Ojanwuna could catch it and lay it in. This guy is a true point guard, and it shows tonight. 6 assists, 5 rebounds on a night where he really didn't have his best shooting stuff, just 2 of 10.
Jalen Bridges can't believe it, but he's whistled for the foul. That is personal number 2 on the night. Ojanwuna with 8 points tonight. His career high is 9. He'll get plenty of minutes, plenty of opportunities down the stretch. Lou Williams hits the free throw. Tarleton team picked 10th in the WAC this year. They are in the WAC again in their final year of transition to Division I. It's a 4-year process, and every school that goes up a classification has to go through that. And it seems like they've navigated it really well, Pat. They've got 1 year to go.
Yeah, and I think that's a big move. In fact, Greg talked about that at halftime, Greg Bruner, how that's really sort of energized the city of Stephenville. And that's, you know, you can get better players, bigger facilities, better games. So that's a big move. I'm glad to see they've made it.
George tries to thread the needle there in the bounce pass to Ojanwuna, and it's stolen away. Tight end Archibald is on the floor for Tarleton, first time tonight. 6:45 on the clock. Down low to Rod Brown, trying to hang on to the ball. Baylor again raking it, trying to get it away, and a foul is called on Dale Bonner.
Yeah, and again they had I guess it was Brown defended really well. I mean, it was Bonner and Love had him in jail right where they wanted him. That was in the low block. In fact, he was pushed along the baseline and really didn't have a shot. Look how low he is. Good. I mean, that's exactly what you want. I think they called Bonner for the reach in at the end. It's hard to resist the reach in.
Right.
You got him in great position. There's no way Brown's going to get a decent shot out of that. Best defense sometimes is just maintain it, make him alter his shot. And it was that last reach that got Bonner, at this point, back to the bench.
4th personal foul. He'll take a seat. Jordan Turner is back on for the Bears. Brown's 2nd free throw is good. He hits 1 of 2. 64-50 the score.
You know, and it's a 14-point deficit, 6:40 to play. And I don't think it's exactly where Billy Gillespie wanted to be at this point. But, you know, 14 points, 6:40 to play is not insurmountable. This team doesn't have the firepower that they need, but they can get to the line.
Here's George leading the break to Ojanwuna. Pass back out to Keyonte George. He'll back it out of there. Bears didn't have it in transition. 3, left side, no. Turner knocked to the ground. Hey, we'll have free throws with 6:26 to play.
Hey, one thing about playing Tarleton, the next day you're going to realize you played Tarleton. Sore, bruised. These guys don't give up anything easy, and they will foul you, as evidenced by the fact that Baylor's about to shoot its 25th and 26th free throws of this game.
Wow.
6:26 to play still.
Jordan Turner looking for his first point of the night. Won't come there. He's got a couple of rebounds, 0 for 2 from the floor. Turner, his first action of the year. Good to see him out there. Second one's good. 65-50, Baylor on top.
The Bears have done this again without Flagler. Without Flagler and without Cryer. And they needed points from other members of the backcourt, and they've gotten them. They've gotten 18 from Love. Bonner back into the game, has 12.
6:15 and counting. Bogues, top of the key, gives to Archibald. Back to Bogues. Archibald will launch a three. In and out, no good. Nice offensive rebound by Shakur Daniel. Brings it back out. Stop the presses, no foul call on that play. Here is
the change.
Tiger Booker.
I want to see some free throws.
Booker's pass nearly stolen by Dale Bonner, but out of bounds. 2.5 seconds on the shot clock as Tarleton will inbound on their baseline.
Tarleton at 50 with 5:46 to play, and we talked, John, about after the Marquette debacle. Bears got back to defense, got focused on it, made the defense a little more compact, and this has been a good effort by the Bears to keep Tarleton, who can score a little bit, from giving themselves a chance. Bears have been able to shut them down when they've had to.
Quick shot to avoid the shot clock violation. Drawn through nothing but air. Keyonte George fouled. Tarleton averaging 77.6 points per game. Coming in, sitting at 50 right now with 5.5 left.
Yeah, Keyonte George will go to the free throw line. And you see a good example of his ability to create his own shot. That's the thing about George. He can get any shot he wants anytime he wants it. That doesn't mean they're all easy. And he makes a lot of those acrobatic shots look easy. But what he's trying to do, if he can get a bucket, is get to the line. And he's a good free throw shooter.
Yeah. Well, you would think a guy like that who shoots so fluidly from outside would be a really good free throw shooter.
Yeah, and he is. I mean, he's just a gamer. I really, really have enjoyed watching him play in his young career, but he plays every part of the game. He defends, got a heart for it. I don't think that he really has the defensive edge that he's going to get come Big 12 time, but he has been a really nice addition to this team.
17-point lead, biggest of the night. The paint shot no good. George the rebound. A strong rebound, holds on to it. Archibald going for the steal there. Knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Baylor's ball with 5:05 on the clock. Boy, a lot of minutes tonight by Keyonte George, Dale Bonner, Jalen Bridges. Baylor shorthanded at the guard position. No Adam Flagler, no L.J. Cryer for Baylor this evening. Look at that drive. Shot won't fall for Bonner. Got to the rim, couldn't hit the layup.
Something else, John, the Bears have really struggled in transition defense this year. They've been great at it tonight, particularly in the second half.
Bonner dribbles out of the right corner into the paint. Bonner has the ball knocked away. Stolen by Tarleton. A lot of contact in there as well.
Yeah, it's a couple turnovers by Bonner in the last possession or two for the Bears. And that might be a matter of fatigue. He's playing a lot more minutes, and he's almost had Daniel right here in my lap with me.
Save the ball inbounds. 5 to shoot. Drive, doesn't draw iron. Rebound, George. Keyonte George brings it up, now slows the pace. At the 4-minute mark in the second half, Baylor leads by 17, 67-50. Keyonte George working against the defense of Shamir Bogues. Will drive, lay it up and in.
That's an acrobatic bucket. That's the one I was talking about a minute ago. His ability to contort in the air, use his body, and just another great example. Like I said, he can create any shot he wants anytime he wants it. And right over the defense, laid it in off the glass. That's vintage Keyonte George.
Baylor leads 69-50 over Tarleton. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Bears as they navigate their way through the remaining games in December. Around finals, which begin next week, and then Christmas break in there as well. Had a game against Washington State at the American Airlines Center December 18th, part of a quadruple header. The Texas men and women play there, and then the Baylor men and women play. Baylor women will play Arizona, Baylor versus Washington State. Back home to play Northwestern State on the 20th. After Christmas, Nichols here on the 28th. Then the start of Big 12 play in Ames, December 31st.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? It seems like every New Year's Eve we're in Ames, Iowa.
We have done that a few times, haven't we?
I know. Well, last year I know we played on New Year's Day, as I recall. In fact, I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
And I do remember it was like frigid cold.
Exactly.
And it's going to be the same this year.
So Big 12 play not very far away. Nice bounce pass and the nice bounce shot, bank shot by Tiger Booker.
And John, you wonder about this layoff that the Bears are about to experience with finals, and I mean that's a pretty significant time off for this team, and it's in order because you've got to make sure academics come first. But this team finally has found a little bit of momentum. Hopefully they can maintain it when they circle the wagons again at Washington State.
Look at that shot by Keyonte George, top of the key. He's got 16 on the night. 12 have come in the second half.
He can score in a hurry, and he can score in bunches. And even when he's not scoring, he's doing other things really well. But now you look at his line, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. That's a pretty good night.
Booker, top of the key, a little bit strong. Bonner, the rebound for the Bears. Rebounding very much in Baylor's favor this half. It was even, really pretty even most of the first half. The Baylor's out-rebounded Tarleton 17-5 so far in the second half.
Yeah, that's been the difference, and I think part of that is fatigue.
Whistle and a foul. It's going to be on Joshua Ojanwuna. That is 4 on him. Here's that three. Look how quick the release is, Pat.
Yeah, it's quick, and he knows that he's going to go shoot it. As soon as he comes off a little bit of a ball screen, if he's got any daylight, it's going up. And it is quick. It's a quick release, and he is a deceptively good shooter. I mean, he hadn't had his best night tonight, 2 for 8 from the three-point line. But he is always a threat. You know, those guys, you know he's a true scorer when he can score in bunches and can just go get buckets when they've got to have him, or at least high percentage shots. And then he's great at the free throw line in a number of different ways. He's made all 6 of his free throws tonight.
Tiger Booker, a couple of free throws there. Makes it 72-54. Bears in too much of a hurry, lose the handle, turnover Baylor. Rough number turnover-wise tonight. That's 19 on the Bears, 16 by Tarleton.
Yeah, you know, that's over the last couple of games. L.J. Cryer has averaged 3 rebounds a game in his last 4. I'm sorry, 3 turnovers a game in his last 4 games. Keyonte George has been at just under 3.5 turnovers over the last 5 games. So Bears have been turnover prone, but when you've got guards that are a little bit daring with the ball, they've got to be daring to create shots for their teammates. Got to expect a few turnovers, but that's probably too many.
Dale Bonner on the perimeter. Nice Keyonte George.
Yeah, I mean, that's in traffic, and he makes that look really easy. His ability to finish in traffic with his frame, 6'4", about 185, 190 pounds, got the ability to do it. A great athlete, gets off the floor and stays off of it for as long as he needs to.
Bears lead by 20. It's been a steady climb in that margin in the second half. Langston Love jumped into the passing lane, knocked the ball out of bounds. So we knew there'd be a lot of free throws tonight on both sides. Baylor right now has shot 23 free throws. Their season high, oh, I'm sorry, that's not free throws, that's fouls, yeah. So 23 fouls on the Bears tonight. Their season high is 24 in that loss to Virginia in Las Vegas.
Yeah, John, we said Tarleton coming in or recognized that they had averaged 28.2 free throws a game. They've shot 27 in this one. That's really incredible.
Yeah.
And that's tied for second best in all of NCAA Division I basketball. That's incredible. And that was their chance to win. They made just 15 of 27. They've made you know, a representative number of those. They've had a chance in this one.
Ball clips the front iron, just beating the shot clock buzzer. Then a putback is good by Shakur Daniel. 74-56 the score. Zach Loveday is on for the Bears, 7-foot junior out of Gallipolis, Ohio. Drive by Love, and the bank shot is good by Love.
You know, he's making most of his time, averaging 11 minutes a game. That's 20 points on the night for him, a career high for him. It's got to be a career high in minutes played as well. Good to see him get going.
Jake Yunkin is on for the Bears, junior out of Loveland, Ohio. Free throws coming for Hopkins.
I'm looking at Love, and he's pulling his jersey, which is, Coach, get me out of here. It's hard for him to even put one foot in front of the other. I think Bonner had some fatigue issues, too. The guys that aren't used to playing these kinds of minutes. And Langston Love has been terrific tonight, but he is completely out of gas.
Free throws. Final minute of the game now, 51.9 seconds remaining. Bears well on the way to running their record to 7-2 on the season. Free throw is good by Hopkins. Keyonte George brings it across the timeline. Now he'll run a little bit of clock. .17 to shoot. Spins. Step back three. Whoa, falling down. A step back three and a foul. A chance at a 4-point play for the freshman Keyonte George.
Now what do you do with that? I mean, how do you defend that? Watch this spin move and the ability to take a step back and get just enough separation from the defender to get a shot away. And then the strength to shoot. I mean, that shot was about 25 feet out, falling away with a hand in his face. Not only did he get the shot away, drew the foul, and now completed the 4-point play with a free throw. Boy, this guy can score in a hurry.
Big smile on his face. He's got 21 points now. 17 have come in the second half.
He's not finished yet.
Gonna clean drive the floor a little bit where he fell down. 33.7 seconds to go. Bears lead it by 22. Looking for point number 22 at the line is Keyonte George. And he's got it. With a win tonight, Flo Thamba will win his 100th game as a Baylor Bear. That's going to set a new school record. Think about that. 100 wins during your career. And what a contributor Flo Thamba has been during this stretch.
You know, John, think of the significance of most of those wins.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about the 3-year run that the Bears have had. All those games are being ranked in the top 10 in the country for that span. So he has been an integral part of, again, 2 Big 12 championships and a national championship. They're not winning either of those without him.
Keyonte George can dribble out the final seconds of this Baylor win over Tarleton tonight. Was not easy. Bears lead by 9 at halftime. They win it going away despite being shorthanded. No Adam Flagler, no L.J. Cryer in the game tonight. The Bears win it 80-57 over Tarleton.
And I think this was Langston Love's breakout night, and it was good to see that. Towards ACL a year ago, but finally got minutes. He finally feels healthy, got that brace off, and he had a banner day because of it.
20 points, a career high for Langston Love in his first career start here at Baylor. 22 by Keyonte George, 18 in the second half. So the Bears a bit shorthanded, but they get the win over Tarleton this evening to run their record to 7-2 on the season. Coach Billy Clyde Gillespie and the Tarleton Texans come in. With the loss, they drop to 5-4 on the year. Next up, a little bit of a break for finals, and then the Bears back at it on December 18th in Dallas against Washington State. For Tarleton, they will be back at it this Sunday against Central Florida. Bears win it tonight over Tarleton, 80-57, the final score. For Pat Nunley and our entire crew, I'm John Morris. Thanks for being with us. Baylor wins in the Farrell Center. Thanks for watching Big 12 Now on ESPN+.